Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is William Hindman, your host, and this is Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do their job or they completely screw it up. Well, this one here, guys, is from the Junkyard Junkyard News. Sorry, Junkyard News. Please go over there and tell them I sent you over there. Check them out. They got a lot of good information. Subscribe to his videos, hit his like and share, and help his algorithms. And while you're here, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the bell icon so you know when I put out a new video. Hit the like and share so it helps my algorithms out. Thumbs up, thumbs down, tells me how I'm doing for you guys. And leave a comment. Okay, so anyway, I already did this one, I think a couple of times already. It's a sergeant in Las Vegas who fabricated charges on people. Then the grand jury found him to where he is being charged now with numerous felonies and misdemeanors. And he was actually turned in by one of his guys on his team. But Junkyard News has some new information, so let's check it out, okay? Here we go, folks. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. I have a merch store now. The information is down below. If you go over there till Christmas, I'm taking 10% off everything. It's really high quality stuff. It's not junk. I spent about a week looking at different sites and getting samples, and it was like, you got to be kidding me. Some of the stuff, the first time you wash it, it's going to fall apart. And you spend your money, I don't think you want to buy something that's junk. So I have better stuff, I guess. I cannot in good conscience put stuff out there that's real cheap that's just going to fall apart. That's not the way I operate. I'm not going to operate that way. Let's put it that way. You guys work hard for your money, and I understand that, which is why I'm giving you 10% off till Christmas, because it makes great Christmas presents. There's hoodies, there's jackets, there's shirts, there's shorts, there's mouse pads, there's cups, there's all kinds of stuff, guys. And you got 4 different logos you can get on it. You can get our logo with the wolf, where we hold public officials accountable. There is one that is the American flag, which is freedom rings. The pair of handcuffs that are broken, stop tyranny. And it's yours and it's mine, the Constitution of the United States. So check them out, see what you think, and let's get on with the video, shall we? Here we go.
Now a Metro sergeant faces several charges.
This video was intended to inform and educate the public.
Welcome everybody, and thank you again for tuning in to another video news story by the Junkyard News. And in this video, we're going to highlight a police sergeant in Las Vegas, Nevada, who has been indicted by a grand jury on accusations that he fabricated evidence and initiated contacts with innocent people to bolster his squad's arrest reports, to make his squad look good, when in fact a lot of innocent people had false charges filed against them. Now picture this. Maybe you and your friends and your girls, you're having a good time in Vegas. The girls decide they need to take a powder. On your way to your next destination, you stop at the restrooms and the girls go in to do your thing. So maybe you and your friends are just palling around close to the bathrooms, just waiting for them to get done with their business so you guys can leave. And you know how friends can joke around and talk about things. And you ever said to one of your friends, "Nah, dude, suck my beep"? Well, one particular...
At the Cosmopolitan, 4 men appear to be randomly detained.
It's a crime to loiter by a restroom and say, hold on.
These mushrooms make you feel better.
And insinuate sexual acts. Right?
I just got here.
I don't think so. I think you were standing by a restroom and you said, "Suck my."
Officers later testified they never heard the men make those comments. They were just following Menin's orders.
The sergeant in plain clothes told one of his uniformed squad officers that the men had propositioned him by asking him to do just that, to suck his you-know-what. Maybe the words never even came out of his mouth. This is just one of many of these type of incidents and arrests in which a grand jury investigated and ultimately charged this sergeant with unlawfully detaining individuals on the Las Vegas Strip. Not only that, he's been accused of having his squad officers reword and change their reports, as in lie, to make the arrest seem more legal, when in fact they just may never had probable cause or reasonable suspicion to detain in the first place. Now, news agencies were able to obtain the arrest report, which accuses Sergeant Kevin Menon with unlawful detainment and even leading to some unlawful arrests. The report details multiple incidents of Menon ordering arrests without probable cause, often following confrontations instigated by the sergeant himself while he was in plain clothes. This sergeant is also, like I said, accused of telling other officers to lie on their reports about these detainments and arrests. If Menon saw a person of interest, it's said that he would intentionally shoulder check them or bump into them with the intent to elicit a response which would lead to an altercation that would give reasonable suspicion for uniformed officers following close behind to stop and detain the person that he intentionally bumped into. Now, charges that Sergeant Kevin Menon is facing include oppression of color of office with force, subornation of perjury, which is telling officers to lie on their reports, and battery on a protected person. Sources with knowledge of the arrest said Menon is part of a larger investigation into allegations that Metro police officers would bump into tourists on the Las Vegas Strip, which would prompt fights and arrests of these tourists. The department has placed Menon on leave. Originally, it was reported as with pay, but the department has turned that around and said no, he's not on paid leave. He's on unpaid leave. And he has had his police powers suspended pending an internal investigation. So you go to Las Vegas to have some fun with your friends, or maybe on business, and this sergeant, again, who was in charge of this small group of officers around the Las Vegas Convention Center, would intentionally go out and set people up for charges just to bolster the numbers of his squad. And don't think this is just a random occurrence. This happens all across the country. There are officers out there who want to bolster their career in any way possible. I draw your attention to a previous video that I did last year regarding a police officer that got caught and actually ended up being convicted of planting drugs on traffic stops.
Involving fabricating evidence and arresting innocent people, was sentenced to 12 years and 6 months in prison.
Was sentenced to 12 years and 6 months in prison. The jury found Wester guilty on 19 out of 67 charges. He's been charged with racketeering, official misconduct, fabricating evidence, false imprisonment, possession of controlled substances, and drug paraphernalia, and perjury.
Why? To bolster his own career. He would charge innocent people. He would plant drugs on innocent people, ruin the lives of innocent people, all to benefit himself. Be careful, people. One of these days, we could be highlighting a video news story about you and an altercation you have with a Leo in our next video. You take care, you be safe, and always record the police.
Okay, guys. So, what did you think about that? Now, you've heard me say that a violation of oath of office should be a felony, not a misdemeanor, not a slap on the wrist, not allowed to resign. But you did the crime, so you get to do time, and that's the way it should be. And then also, if an officer puts a charge on you that it doesn't stick, it gets thrown out, or the DA decides not to charge it, then it goes back on the officer. Why? We just saw it. Because they're using the charges on us to further their careers. Okay? Now, one of my subscribers to the channel here at at Just Force 911, sorry, came up with an idea that all police officers, now we're talking about marshals, FBI agents, highway patrolmen, sheriffs, police officers, constables, anybody that has arrest powers should be accredited. Okay? What that means is they carry an insurance policy, just like doctors, just like lawyers, just like accountants. And if you lose your credibility, then you lose your license and you can no longer be a police officer or law enforcement anywhere. So it solves the problem of them bouncing from, from department to department to department to department. There's cops out there that have bounced 7 to 15 times that we know of. And it's just not one or two. It's dozens of officers. And these are known as scumbag officers, the sovereign citizen type. So let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Oh, do me a favor. Don't forget, we got a merch store, 10% off, and make great Christmas presents. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.